All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, my bad, my bad, my bad. I had the Wi-Fi on, and the Wi-Fi does not like Streamlabs. So anyway, I had to turn that off. Get on the Ethernet. But anyway, back to the conversation that we was having. Right? Is marriage the end all be all? And I don't think it is. I do not think it is. I think a relationship is successful if you are happy, and I think that needs to become the most important thing. Right? Like, yo, if you're happy, that's the most important thing in your relationship. Right? Now, I will say this as a man, if you're married, yes, you need to be, I mean, if you have children, yeah, you probably need to be married. And I would also say that as a man, um, I am of the belief that there should be a separation between your woman, right? There should be a separation between your woman. Hey, what's up, Chris? What's up, Kiki? What's up, Latori? I think there should be a difference between like your significant other and your wife, right? I almost think that like wife should be. I hate using the term. This is definitely because of a lack of a better term. It should be an award, right? it should it should be an award, right? It should be one of those things where it's like, yo, you won. You no other woman could do what you've done. You get it, right? And like I said, this is one of those times where it is. I don't have a better term to actually use than the ideal of an award. But going back to where I first opened up, I think because I keep getting this request, not only from my older sisters trying to hook me up, right? But I get a lot of sisters my age, and when I say my age, I'm talking like that 40 to 50 range, right? But you could probably drop that to 35, where a lot of the women are like, "Hey, are you going to have any mixers? You guys going to do any single events?" And my answer is always resoundingly, no. Not going to have any single events. we're, we're not going to have any mixers. We'll have events, so you'll be able to come out, and there's going to be single men there. But I'm not having anything where we're hooking people up. And the biggest reason for that is, again, most of the guys that are my age are happily married or happily divorced. So the guys my age they need something more than just the ideal that I just need to be with somebody. Any man that gets divorced that needs to be with somebody, he's jumping right back into a relationship. By the way, all the guys that are rewatching this in our Facebook group, I know that group grew last week because of the NIL HBCU conversation. Hey, welcome to the Black Dads Club. Welcome to the Facebook group. I am not in that group because I got locked out of my account. But feel free to hit me up on Instagram, Pastor Mike Well. But anyway, one of the issues that I don't think that women understand is that outside of the fact that dating has become more expensive, right? Like average date, $100, right? You go on 2 dates a month, 12 months, right? You've kicked out $2,400, right? You do two and a half, right? Or you do 4 days, you $3,600, $4,800. It's talking $5,000 a year that men are spending just going out. And one of the suggestions that I had for a group of homegirls, I was like, hey, when you guys, y'all, because a couple of them really want to be married. And I was like, hey, you could really make yourself different on these day naps that, when you match with a guy and you're having a conversation, you could actually invite the guy out, right? Because everything that guys would do, right? Coffee dates, ice cream dates, walk in the parks, like all that stuff women don't want to do anymore. So guys really just don't offer. But all those things are economical because as a man, if you're expected to continually take women out, and I'm going to get to that in a minute, if you're expected to do that, right, it would make sense that, the smaller things would be expected, right? Women don't want the smaller things now. So one of the suggestions that I had for my homegirls was like, hey, you can offer to just take a guy off of ice cream, right? Like you want to see him, like you matched on Saturday. Conversation, it's been okay. You know, it's a Tuesday afternoon. Nobody's doing anything. Just hit the guy up and be like, hey, let me take you out to X ice cream shop, you know, and see you in person, right? Let me lay some eyes on you. It's like, it'll cost you $20-$30 max, right? And there's a really good chance that the guy is going to pay. Because that's just how guys are. Right? Yeah, Baraka, they want him to be 3 stars. But anyway, I had this conversation because about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I was talking to my homegirls. I was like, hey, y'all still on dating apps? They're just like, oh yeah, a little bit. I think it was on Hinge. Like, but you know, they were trying to act like they weren't. But I could tell they're on the dating apps, right? And they're unsuccessful. So I asked the question. I said, hey, I said, how many guys you've taken out for ice cream? I said, it's hot now, right? And it was just all the excuses just came out, right? And I'm just all right. I said, I'm just asking, right? So funny enough, you know, I got back. My subscription was ending, so it put me back in Charlotte. And I was like, yo, my subscription ending. I got a week. Let me see what I pull when it comes to dating online in Charlotte. And you know, it had some matches, man. It was like vast majority not interested, right? But I'd say probably between 6 or 8 of them, I was like, you know, I may be interested in getting to know them, right? So, you know, I swipe right. Conversations are dry because women are terrible at introducing themselves. But anyway, you know, we're struggling through it, right? But anyway, so I was like, let's run this project. So at the end of a 2-week period, or not even 2-week period, end of a 1-week period, I was like, I am going to see if anyone does what I suggested, right? Like, yo, something quick, right? No dates, right? No, just like, let me just see if anybody is going to be like, hey, I see you stay on my side of town. I stay on that side of town. Let's run up to such and such real quick, right? And grab a beer. I was like, I just want to see. Just want to see if anybody's going to offer, right? And no, for the record, guys, nobody's going to offer. Okay, I'll be here next week. Nobody's going to offer because this is not what anyone does in the States. But this has created a problem when it comes to dating that I have found that the ladies
imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking of
has occurred. And I'm going to play this clip right here from MTR. Now, I don't know if you know who Mediocre Tutorials are. He's I want to say he's a streamer. He's one of the first vloggers. And one of the things that he, most of the black manosphere guys, these guys were not red pill. They also were not, I would say, passport bros. They were just black bloggers. And a lot of them are really, really good. MTR is one of them. As you can see, MTR has, you know, 913,000 subscribers. It's one of the best, right? He just does review on everybody else's information. And MTR, he's been streaming, I think, legit every day for the last 7 years. Again, one of the best in the business, right? Super successful brother. Light skinned, 6 feet, lives in Atlanta, you know, probably very, very well paid. I mean, again, right, his 913,000 subscribers, you know, on his page, right? To give you an idea, we have like 3,400. Okay, we're trying to get to where he is. He just left the country and went to Thailand. I think he was in Thailand for 3 weeks, right? And I just want you to listen to what he said. Now, he titled this because he's trying to get clicks, which is smart, right? Why I'm leaving the West. The passport bros were right. Okay? I want you to listen to what he says real quick here.
Mindset as well, but I think like a lot of the men are just seeing what works with the women, and they utilize that as data, and they incorporate components of that into their game. When you're over in a place that doesn't have these different norms or like these established like normal things and expectations, when you're in a place where it's completely different and you're not held to the standards or the comparisons of those around you, and also there's not like this underlying money conversation, okay? On the channel, I'll let you guys know this. I probably said this in a live stream or two before, but when I do content and I find a topic that is about dating, relationships, All right.
Now listen to the topics that he says that does best whenever he does a review.
Men, woman, whatever. But then also, it is a money topic, right? Like, going off the Cheesecake Factory, and she don't, she don't want to bang with the Cheesecake Factory. It's too beneath her. Okay. She's going out with her homegirls, invites her guy that she's dating, and she expects the guy to pay for the table. Those topics get some of the highest views. And I understand why.
And they do, especially like the one, like even when you hear like guys saying they take a girl out and then she bring her home girls. I was out. We went out last Thursday, and this young lady was out, and she was like her and her boyfriend going through it. And she dates older guys. I think she was 31. I think her boyfriend was like 55. Right. So that conversation right up my alley because I'm an older guy. And one of the things that she was saying is like, like when this was the guy she broke up with. She was like, whenever they went out, like after they go out to a restaurant, he would always take her to like a club or a lounge, which I guess is cool. You got a young lady, pretty young thing. She want to go party. And of course she invites a girl. So right, he covers that section. So this is a thing, right? But part of the problem is this kind of kills the ideal of getting to know someone. What MTR, after living in Atlanta, what he's finding out is, this is a West thing. Like this idea that I gotta overspend to get to know somebody, this is a West thing, right? Women can be so caught up in what they won't do, but can't show and tell you what they will do. Yep. I agree. Right? But MTR was actually caught into this. Like MTR, you can go through some of MTR's old content, and it's not like really anti-passport bro. And I'm not a passport bro, but I get it. I like to travel. And I love beautiful women, right? So those two things kind of run together. I'm not, but it's like, it's not like I'm anti-America. Like I've been here. I've been here my whole life. My whole family's here. I'm an American. It is what it is, right? But the last decade it's been stagnant, right? And it's not just been stagnant because I'm in my 40s, because that 4 does make a big difference when you're out here dating. Not gonna lie. Any guy, if you're in your 30s right now and you got a good one, yeah, go ahead and settle down, bro. It doesn't get better in your 40s, right? You gotta understand gamification. And if you can't gamify a situation, get your ass out the game and stay out the game, especially when you get in your 40s. I can only imagine what my 50s is like. But MTR was one of these guys where like, he was young, he was fly, like he was in his 30s, he was in Atlanta, he was doing his thing, and he used to low key, I won't say go at bros, but he low key to be like, I wonder why y'all going over there, right? Dude, take his butt out of the country one time. He done lost his mind. Because what he found out is that there is no skit that you have to run when you overseas, right? We talked about like, I got like 10 matches, right? These are women that I have some level of interest in, right? All of them are waiting to be taken out. If I wanted to go out with all 10 of those women, and I wanted to be like, all right, well, I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to the dessert bar, right? That tab would run me $150, and that's if I take it easy per chick. It's $1,500 just to get to know 10 different women, right? And here's the thing: not a one. I've matched with most of them for 4 or 5 days. Not a one, even ones that are close, have said, "Hey, let's meet real quick for lunch. Let's go grab tacos." No, none of that. And what MTR discovered is when you go to these other countries, man, when they are interested, bro, like you will match with a woman, and this is not me selling it. This is me telling you the difference between this is why this guy is damn near ready to leave the country all of a sudden after talking mad cash for about 5 years, right? Is that, bro, when they're interested, they're like, hey, what are you doing right now? Let's go grab a coffee right now. Right? I have matched with a chick using the translator and like, hey, where are you at? Hey, let's meet here. Right now. Right? And this is unfortunately, I look, man, a couple years ago, I tried to say it as nice as I could, that I was like, yo, top third of men, and it's one of the reasons why I have never really went hard, on the pod, because I was like, I don't want every guy to feel like this, because then it becomes adversarial, because now you're making it seem like, oh, we're not good enough, and it's like that's not what's being said. No one is saying you're not good enough. Men are leaving the country and discovering that it's different, not just with the women, but with the food, with Ubering. Like, yo, you don't have to have a car. You could Uber $4 or $5 max wherever you want to go, right? Public transportation, wherever you want to go, right? You can order your groceries, right? $60, you can get a grocery for 2-3 days, right? Delivered right to you. Tip $2, because tipping culture is not insane in these countries. No one is expecting a 25% tip for taking your coffee order. Right? It is relaxing in these countries. It is relaxing. Like, take the women out of it. Like, the women are a big part. Like, I'm not gonna bury the lead here. I'm not gonna pretend that the ink not dried on the page, right? That is happening. But what I was saying is, like, yo, what these guys realize is, like, he goes on and on in here, and I'm talking for him instead of playing what he's saying, because I guess I've lived it, so I'm kind of explaining it away. But he was like, yo, if you wanted chicken fried rice in Atlanta, you're gonna pay $20-$25, right? He's in Thailand ordering chicken fried rice, like $2-$3, right? Like, yeah, think about it, right? So, like, even if you were with a chick, right, and you ordered chicken fried rice, right, the chick that with you is gonna be like, well, yeah, I'll eat that too. She's not gonna be like, I don't eat chicken fried rice from Mr. Chicken Fried Rice. Like, she gonna be like, no, I'm gonna eat it too. And guess what? You just spent $6-7. Versus if you're in Atlanta, and you're like, yo, I'm going to get chicken fried rice, and then she walks in and she's like, oh, I don't know, what's the grade here? Oh, they got a 92. They need a 99. No, I don't want this. I want to go to Nobu. Right? Like, I'm already paying 20. And again, this becomes the problem with dating. And because it's a problem with dating, this is why marriage rates are dropping. So I'm not mad at guys for saying, you know what? I just want to be happy in a relationship. I don't want to get married. I told y'all, only time I'm really like, you need to get married is if, children are involved. But just the idea of like traveling and getting out of the country, and you need to experience it. And when you experience it, don't take it as an opportunity to be like, you know what? I'm about to get my lick back with these hoes. Don't do that.
So, all right, broad shoulders. You understand what I'm saying? My mama at least thinks that I'm handsome. All right, so I'm walking on these streets. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm a fruit roll up. You heard? I'm a fruit snack. All right. I'm something that, you know what I'm saying? I'm rare, and I'll tell you what. As a man, it feels good to be overly respected and appreciated. I always say this on the channel. Go.
And that's the biggest thing. Like, that's the biggest takeaway, is that for a lot of guys, when they
what are your views on marriage?
Mine? For the first time, they're like, yo, I'm respected, right? Like,
to live a life. Most men don't even need
me being masculine, right? I'm not instantly told that this is toxic masculinity, right? I am being sought out because of my masculinity. Like, one of the things that I was told, it took me a while to understand this, right? Like, a lot of women will say they want a detail-oriented man, right? And because I'm coming from the West, I'm thinking that means like, I'm thinking that means like, yo, like, they want a guy to spend and everything. And they do, right? All women do. Okay, don't get it twisted, right? Source code on women is the same. All women want stuff, all right? Just get that through your head. That's women in a nutshell. But when they mean detail-oriented, right, they're like, yo, a guy that pays attention to the little things, right? Opens the door, pulls out the chair, walks on the inside of the sidewalk, grabs her hand whenever she's going upstairs or in case she's stepping over stuff. It's the little stuff, right? Like, you are detail-oriented. You are paying attention to her, right? Which is something that most Afro-American men do, especially older Afro-American men. They pay attention to everything, right? That is so desired when you go abroad, right? I heard it in the Middle East. I heard it in Europe. I have heard it in South America, right? Like the way as a man that you take care of your women is highly desirable. And that's what I guess throws most men off, is because what was accepted here, what was said to be here as the bare minimum, is something that is longed for when you travel. That's why somebody like MTR, who I love to death, but low key was kind of going in on men that was traveling. Like, you can go find this content. Just go to MTR's page, type in Passport Bro. You'll find this content. You'll see what he had to say. Alpha Male Strategies is doing it. I'm waiting for him to leave the country. CGA was the same way. He left the country, came back, different man. And I'm gonna play this right here, and then I'm gonna get out of here.
The bare minimum. You don't deserve a man to just give you, what he has. You have to earn it. And this is the thing that I've noticed overseas, that people really, really respect that.
Yes.
Your masculinity is not toxic in these places.
Yes.
It's encouraged, right? People want men to develop the society, and women want real men. And you can be a real masculine man without being abusive towards women or towards society. Whereas you're not toxic if you don't fit a particular agenda, and we won't talk about what that is right now. So that is his concern here. The American dream and the misandry towards men.
That's it.
Is something that is driving men away in general.
It is.
But the third piece would be quality of life.
Why is it that now,
Just real quick before I get off of the idea, guys, respect is everything. What I say, the number one thing that you need to require from her is respect. Respect, respect, respect. But don't.
And I'm going to stop it here and I'm going to end it here because I don't want to just beat a dead horse. But the reason why is because this is a super successful brother. It's a very successful brother, right? This is a guy that went to the top of his game in this field when it comes to black manosphere topics, right? He's at the top of it. And he is saying, like, yo, the one thing that I am not receiving when I'm in the States is respect. And when I went to Thailand, this is me saying what MTR is saying. I haven't been to Thailand yet. But he's like, when I went to Thailand, right, I am being acknowledged. I am being appreciated, right? Ain't nobody buying him nothing, right? Ain't you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody, carrying his bags for him, right? The man is saying that there's so much lack in the United States when it comes to being respected. And this is being one of the top men in the field, right? He's like, yo, I'm not respected. This man have went from, he thought he had trash to talk to, like, now he's probably ready to leave the country, like, for good. And I think that's very, very important. And I, one of the sad things that I find is that so many men experience it for the first time when they leave, and then there's no coming back, right? And I can't say that that's the right answer. It is a answer, and it's not the wrong answer, right? It's one of those things. I don't know if y'all remember. Sometimes your teacher, this is before they had standardized everything, right? But your teacher used to make the test. I might be too old, but your teacher would make the test, so she'd make all the multiple choice. And then, like, when they started grading it, hand your paper to your classmate grades your paper, and then she'll go through it, and then she'll realize that, like, hey, B was her answer, but she could see how everybody got C, and she'd be like, all right, if you got C, you get credit for that one as well. And that's what's happening with a lot of guys. A lot of guys are just happening to, leave, right? And it's not the right answer, but it's coming back that it's not the wrong answer. And we can't deny that. We can't sit here and be like, nah, you're wrong, MTR. MTR, he can't be wrong. It's one of the most successful YouTubers ever, right? Literally one of the most successful YouTubers ever. He can't be. When he is saying, like, yo, I am not being appreciated in Atlanta, right? He is in Stunt City, Black Stunt City, right? You think MTR doesn't stay in an uptown condo in Atlanta or downtown condo in Atlanta? You think he doesn't drive a G-Wagon or, a Benz or a Porsche? Right? You think he doesn't? And this guy's like, man, the first time I felt respected is in Thailand. Yo, that is a cultural problem that has to be addressed. Period. It is a cultural problem that has to be addressed. And if men think that's funny, if men are just like, oh, yeah, you're lame, yeah, the hell with you, right? It's a cultural problem. If women are like, oh, you're just whiny, you ain't got no game, you're lame, it's a cultural problem. Because when you start losing top tier men that are just visiting on a freaking whim, that are not passport bros, when you are losing those men in the culture has a problem. And you have to fix it. Well, you have to acknowledge it first, and then you have to fix it. But you're running out of time. And that's all I got. Mimi, I saw you came in. Elizabeth, thank you for coming in. Julia, thank you for coming in. Marcia, hit me up. Thank you for coming in. But that's all I got. Holla at your boy. New hats next week. New pod drops tomorrow.